On November 29, 1970, a father and his two young daughters were hiking through the quiet Isdalen Valley near Bergen, Norway. The valley was cold. A thick fog covered the rocky hills. Everything felt peaceful. Then, one of the girls noticed something lying between the rocks. At first, they thought it was just an old pile of clothes. But as they walked closer, they stopped. A woman was lying there. She was completely alone. No one recognized her. No one knew why she was there. The family quickly called the police. Within hours, the peaceful valley became the center of one of Europe's greatest unsolved mysteries. Police arrived only a short time later. They carefully searched the area. Almost immediately, they noticed something strange. The woman carried no passport, no driver's license, no identification. Nothing revealed who she was. Then investigators looked at her clothes. Every label had been carefully removed. Someone had taken the time to erase every clue that could identify her. It was as if this woman was never supposed to have a name. Investigators searched the valley from end to end. They hoped to find something, anything, that could explain who the woman was, but there was almost nothing. No handbag, no wallet, no personal papers, no simple answers. So police widened the investigation. They visited hotels, train stations, airports. They believed the woman had traveled across Norway before arriving in Bergen. The question was, why? As the investigation continued, police made an unbelievable discovery. The woman had stayed in several hotels, but almost every time, she used a different name, different addresses, different stories. She seemed to become a completely different person wherever she went. Who was she really? Investigators believed they were following an ordinary missing identity case. They were wrong, because hidden inside a railway station were several old suitcases waiting to be claimed, and what police found inside them would make this mystery even stranger. Police searched every place the woman had visited. Then, they found something unexpected. Inside a luggage storage room at Bergen railway station, several old suitcases had been left behind. Every suitcase belonged to the same woman. When detectives opened them, they expected to find clothes and personal belongings. Instead, they found a collection of carefully planned secrets. Inside the suitcases, police found expensive clothes, shoes, cosmetics, maps, sunglasses, and several wigs. There were also notebooks filled with strange writing. At first, the notes looked completely meaningless, but investigators soon realized they were not random words. They were coded records. The woman had carefully written down every trip she had taken, every hotel, every date, every journey, almost like someone keeping a secret diary. Experts spent days studying the notebook. Finally, they cracked the code. It was not a secret message, it was a travel record. The strange letters and numbers matched hotel stays across Europe. The woman had traveled through Norway, Germany, Belgium, France, and Switzerland. She moved constantly, never staying in one place for very long. It almost seemed as if someone was watching her, or perhaps she was watching someone else. The investigation became even stranger. Police discovered the woman had used at least 8 different names. Each identity came with a different address, a different story. Sometimes she claimed to be a businesswoman, other times a tourist or a language teacher. No one knew which identity was real. Maybe none of them were. And just when investigators thought the mystery could not become any more unbelievable, a witness came forward. His story would change the entire investigation. As police followed the woman's journey, they began speaking to people who had seen her during her final days. Hotel workers remembered her. She always arrived alone. She rarely smiled, and she avoided long conversations. Sometimes she would suddenly change hotel rooms without giving a reason. Other guests noticed something else. Every evening she carefully looked around before entering her room, almost as if she believed someone was following her. Several witnesses shared similar stories. They said the woman often wore different wigs. Sometimes she had dark hair, other times blonde. She changed her appearance so often that many people did not realize they had met the same person. She also carried herself with confidence. She spoke several languages, and she always seemed to know exactly where she was going. But no one knew where she actually belonged. One witness remembered something unusual. He claimed he saw the woman meeting a man. The conversation was short, quiet, serious. No one knew what they discussed. Minutes later, they walked away in different directions. Police searched for the man, but they never found him. To this day, no one knows who he was, or if he had anything to do with the mystery. The investigation was no longer just about finding a name. Now, police wondered if the woman had been living a secret life. Her many identities, her constant travel, the coded notebook, the wigs, the careful planning, everything pointed towards something much larger. Some investigators quietly began asking a question that would follow this case for decades. Was the Isdal woman a spy? The answer has never been proven, but the next discovery would only make that possibility even harder to ignore. As investigators put all the pieces together, one theory kept returning. Could the Isdal woman have been a spy? The timing seemed unusual. It was the middle of the Cold War. Across Europe, secret intelligence agencies were watching each other. Hidden identities were common, so were coded notes. Some investigators believed her constant travel across Europe did not happen by chance. But there was one problem. No evidence ever proved she worked for any intelligence agency. The spy theory remained only a possibility. Police continued searching for anyone who knew the woman. Hundreds of people were questioned: hotel workers, taxi drivers, and train employees. But every answer only created another question. Nobody knew her real name. Nobody knew where she came from. It was as if she had appeared from nowhere and disappeared just as quickly. Months became years, years became decades. The case slowly grew colder. Many people believed it would never be solved. The woman remained unknown. Her true story remained hidden. Even as technology improved, the mystery refused to disappear. Then, more than 50 years later, scientists decided to examine the evidence again. This time they used modern DNA technology. Researchers hoped science could finally answer the question, who was the Isdal woman? The results surprised investigators around the world. But even after this breakthrough, one mystery still refused to disappear. How did she die? And why had someone worked so hard to hide her identity? Those questions remain unanswered to this day. For decades, the case remained silent. Many people believed the mystery would never be solved. But years later, investigators reopened the case using modern forensic science. Experts examined her teeth. They studied her DNA. They used techniques that did not exist in 1970. The results revealed something surprising. The Isdal woman most likely grew up near the border of Germany and France. She had probably spent part of her childhood in a French-speaking area. For the first time, investigators finally had a clearer picture of where she came from, but they still did not know who she really was. Even after all these years, the biggest questions remain unanswered. Why did she travel across Europe using different names? Why were the labels removed from every piece of her clothing? Why did she carry coded notes? Who was the man witnesses claimed to have seen with her? And most importantly, was she running from someone or working for someone? No document has answered these questions. No witness has revealed the complete story. And no official investigation has been able to explain everything. Over the years, many theories have been suggested. Some believe she was involved in Cold War espionage. Others think she was trying to disappear and start a new life. Some believe she may have been escaping a dangerous past, but none of these theories has ever been proven. Today, the Isdal woman remains one of Europe's greatest unsolved mysteries, not because there are no clues, but because none of the clues tell the complete story. More than 50 years have passed. The Isdalen Valley is quiet once again. The trains still arrive. The hotels are still open. Life has moved on, but somewhere, the truth may still exist. Perhaps inside an old family photograph, a forgotten letter, or a document that has never been discovered. Until that day, the Isdal woman remains a mystery without a name, a journey without an ending, and a story the world still cannot explain. If you enjoy real mysteries that remain unsolved to this day, make sure to subscribe because sometimes the strangest stories are the ones that actually happened.